This week we're talking about our internet origin stories. My story really begins when I started contributing content to the internet, and that was through a website that I found, and I have no idea how I found this, but it was a website created by some teachers or librarians in New Zealand. And it was kind of this platform where kids of all ages could come and submit their own original writing, so short stories and poetry and the like. And I started writing my own very bad poetry, and other little kids would come on and be like, "This is great, this is awesome, let me interpret the deep meaning of your 12-year-old poetry." At 12, I was one of the oldest on the site, actually, so like 7-year-olds would come and be like, "Ooh, this is super deep and you have insight into life that I need right now." From there, it kind of evolved, and I remember there was a girl in my same performing arts class who was trying to get me to read Harry Potter, and at that point I just had no interest. I wasn't going to do it. Part of the way that she was selling it to me was to tell me about this community of people who were writing Harry Potter stories, and it was called fanfiction. I can't remember the term exactly, but apparently there was a group of people writing fanfiction that was specifically inanimate objects telling scenes or stories from their point of view. So her story that was apparently very popular on fanfiction.net at that point, according to her, was a story told from the perspective of Draco Malfoy's leather pants. So she's like, "You've got to check this out. You've got to check out fanfiction.net. And I did, in fact, check that website out. I cannot say that I never wrote a fanfiction. I mean, but it wasn't my big time. You know, I didn't invest a lot of time in writing fanfiction, but I was a part of the community and commenting and all of that stuff. Neopets. God, I was a big Neopetter. LiveJournal. And LiveJournal, like, consumed all of my graduating class, all of my class at that point. Breathe, eat, and LiveJournal, and it got us into a ton of trouble. A whole bunch of 15-year-olds just saying everything they wanted and expressing every feeling ever turned out to be not such a great idea. Personal blogging came into the picture for me in 2009, which was also the year that I signed up for Facebook. Through Facebook, I actually ended up talking a lot to a girl that I had known in high school, but we fell out of contact until that point. And at some point, we devised a scheme to go visit some other friends we had fallen out of contact with who were studying in Gainesville. These guys who were studying in Gainesville were actually part of a comedy troupe, and we saw a couple of their shows. We loved it. We thought they were hilarious, but we also knew that we were in fact funnier than they were. That was our entire thing. We're funnier than them and we're not doing anything, so we decided, why not blog? Almost 4 years later, and I still have Late to the Party open as my personal blog. Lorraine, and Roxanne is the girl that I started blogging with. She quit, and it's very weird to think about considering that she kind of sparked such a big part of what is my life now, but she was always a quitter anyways. She's one of those people that's always recycling interests, so blogging came and went for her, but I just never went from blogging. A year or so into blogging, I discovered 20-something bloggers, and that is where it sort of changed for me from just a creative outlet and this thing where I was creating content to knowing and understanding the community aspect. So I think me and the internet are gonna have a long and happy life together. I've obviously been attention whoring it on the internet for a very long time, and I don't see that that's gonna stop anytime soon. You will see my face on Tuesday because Sweeney is traveling, and you will see Sweeney's face on Friday.